Bitcoin with $1,000 dip right after my video yesterday warning you, don't get overhyped on Bitcoin just yet. What is next for Bitcoin on the short term? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe and like on the way in. It means a lot. Let's jump into these Bitcoin charts right now, everybody. Here's what we have going on. So I did a video, I don't know, maybe, where was it? Somewhere around here or something. And we got a huge dip, like $1,000 dip before getting a bounce. Let's take a quick look, real quick, at yesterday's video. And we're looking at around 13,800 to around $14,200. So there's our area for retracements. We look for support in that area. It would be a really nice consolidation for Bitcoin. In terms of what that looks like, price range, here's what we're looking at. We're looking at around, another 5-10% or so to the downside of consolidation, maybe a day or two, and then we can start looking for support, see if we get a bounce, see if we fall into some type of symmetrical triangle. All right, so I replay these videos because there are a lot of people watching these videos that want to learn the basics of technical analysis. And I don't do that to, pat myself on the back. And I keep saying that, but I don't, everyone. I really want to just track this with you. And I want to show you how this data plays out on the charts, because technical analysis works. And it works best in just preparing us mentally and teaching us the very important thing of patience. So here's how it played out. Yesterday, I think when I did that video, it was like $15,300 some dollars or so, somewhere in there. And we were really just talking about the swing low that we had beginning of November to this swing high that we just had. And we were talking about coming back down to the Fibonacci retracement. You can see Bitcoin wicked just above it. We didn't fall into that area, which is fine, but we got what we were anticipating, a swing low. Now that we got a swing low, in that video I talked about the potential for what? A bounce off of that support area. We've gotten the bounce almost perfectly, and you can see since then we've come up. Now, I want to just kind of go over where we are now in terms of the short term, right? This is a 6-hour chart. So if I pull up the Fibonacci retracement now from our swing high to the swing low we just got, we have a new Fibonacci retracement area. And this is really what I'm watching right now. It's actually what inclined me to do this video, because Bitcoin is testing the upper area of this resistance area. So we're currently at the 786 of the short-term Fibonacci retracement. And if we just zoom out on the 6-hour chart, you might remember just over the last couple months or so, we were just tracking different symmetrical triangles, right? And this happens time and time again. A good example was back here, Bitcoin in September was just bouncing off these Fibonacci retracement, support, resistance, and then we got a breakout to the upside. So I don't think this is going to be as big of a move for Bitcoin or as big of a pattern for Bitcoin right now, but we can anticipate something similar. But on the flip side of that, a bullish side of that, that's not to say that a symmetrical triangle, if it does form here, isn't bullish. It could very well be bullish, right? We could kind of bounce around and then get continuation to the upside. This symmetrical triangle could be a continuation pattern. But aside from that, something else that Bitcoin does and has a tendency to do, we talk about in this channel a lot, is these upwards consolidation patterns. And I think I just talked about it in yesterday's video. It could have been one of the scenarios that Bitcoin falls into right now. One thing is true. We knew we needed consolidation, right? So are we going to get a consolidation pattern found in a symmetrical triangle? Or potentially more bullish is, and we can track this on the short term now, is Bitcoin going to break this resistance, this Fibonacci resistance, continue up, get a higher high, right, from the swing high back here, and then maybe come back down again. And then we have this upwards consolidation pattern. Many people, when they see that, get very bearish. And, rightfully so, in a environment where Bitcoin is approaching overbought, on these zoomed out, like the daily chart, we're kind of hovering in that overbought territory. The weekly chart, we're hovering in that overbought territory. There could be a case for that as a bearish setup. There definitely could be, but Bitcoin in these environments where it just wants to pump and it just wants to keep going, oftentimes that begins with some type of rising consolidation channel. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we get something similar Bitcoin just slow rise over the coming days, right? Maybe the coming week, 3 to 5 days or something, slow rise, and then we just get another breakout, like another pump. You know what I'm saying? So that would not surprise me. But at the very least, when all of this is said and done, right now what we're tracking is what kind of consolidation pattern will form for Bitcoin and what kind of targets will we be looking at, right? So if we do get like some type of symmetrical triangle, meaning very short-term resistance here, and Bitcoin's getting ready actually in the hours ahead to go back down, what does that look like? And we can anticipate. We have a swing low now to this potential swing high happening now. We could have another swing low, I would say probably in the vicinity of 14,800 down to around 14,600, if not a little bit higher, right? So just a swing low somewhere in this general vicinity of this Fibonacci retracement we could anticipate. So let me just get rid of the Fibonacci so that you can just see what this looks like. And then we can just track a potential symmetrical triangle, potentially looking like something like this. We get a retracement down to this bottom trend line, bounce around, and a breakout target for this is something like, just above $17,000. But you have to remember a breakout target for something like this is also a setup to the 13,000s, which is, I believe, another number we talked about in yesterday's video. And if we start looking at the daily chart and the weekly chart, we get some context into what a move like that might look like. And it could be very healthy for Bitcoin. This is a daily chart. If we look at that $13,000 area right here, could be a potential breakout target for a potential speculative symmetrical triangle. If we're sitting in this area, you know what we're doing. We're testing once again, really this whole entire confluent area from last summer. That's the swing high we've previously broken. This move right here, everybody, is making me so long-term bullish and even mid-term bullish, right? Any short-term pullbacks I'm talking about, even in the 20%, 30% to the downside range, really is not bearish. It's just because Bitcoin does that all the time. It's just we have to be ready for that. And this is what we'd anticipate. Potential support down here at a symmetrical triangle breakout if it plays out that way. We're not sure yet, but you can just see what that looks like on the daily. And then on the weekly chart, we can get an idea as well. If we look at what's going on the weekly, we have a lot of support well below that $13,500 area. We have the 20-week moving average on the weekly chart. That is the master support for Bitcoin, sitting at like right now, just above $11,000. And we know Bitcoin, zooming out on the charts, even in bull markets, even in bullish environments, Bitcoin does that, has a tendency to pull back to that area, even if just briefly, right? And a bounce off of that area. So always anticipate, everyone, a move like that. At the end of the day, even when we're talking about these short-term moves, we're at 15,600. A move to 13,500 is a pretty big move, right? It's a couple $1,000s. That could be a shock to many of you that it's so in play, and we'd be looking at probably a 15% day or so for Bitcoin to the downside if it happens. But just keep in mind beyond that, in a potentially worse short-term scenario, Bitcoin does actually start testing down here, 30% to the downside, the 20-week moving average. Even still, I will be very bullish on Bitcoin. I just, when we're zooming out on the charts and we're looking at these macro charts and we're getting an overbought, it's not for me to say that Bitcoin can't keep going. It very well can keep going. We could be at $17,000 very quickly, everyone. But again, I will always keep you mindful, because I am mindful of the fact that on the weekly chart, zoomed out, Bitcoin is entering that overbought area. And this channel is very much talking about Bitcoin on the macro. And when Bitcoin was approaching the oversold area, it's the same thing. Be prepared for just crazy bounce. Be prepared for a great scenario, opportunity to buy Bitcoin. And right here, I'm not saying sell Bitcoin, but be prepared for consolidation. That's all. And on the short term, you see how it's playing out. We've tracked it. We're at a Fibonacci resistance right now. It's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention today. How is Bitcoin going to interact with this entire Fibonacci resistance right now? Currently, you can see the 6-hour candle on the very short term as I do this video, just seeing immediate resistance here at the 786 line. Not a surprise. Let's see if Bitcoin can muster up the energy to break through, put in a higher high from this swing high from just a few days ago. So anyway, I hope you're having an amazing Sunday, everyone. Remember to get out there, Enjoy the weather, enjoy the sky, the sun. God is good. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.